welcome to Giant Mega Fun Time, the podcast. I'm Big One.
And I'm Little One.
And we're here to talk about our favorite things from this week. As we predicted last week, this was another busy week with a lot of things, wasn't it?
Yeah, I have no idea what to choose, but then I just found something that I wanted to choose.
Right, we just went through a little bit with our week and looked at everything that we had done, and I think we've got a couple things there.
I want you to go first today.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think you should go first.
Oh, okay. I'll go first.
All right.
So,
Yep.
what I enjoyed was on Wednesday when we went to the Retrocade.
Oh, you just changed it.
No, I didn't.
You told me something else just before we started. You were like, ooh, I'm going to do that.
No, I said that
The
was...
Retrocade. Okay, tell us about the Retrocade.
So, you basically pay $10, and then you can play unlimited video games.
Yeah. What sort of video games do they have there?
They have like pinball, old games, and there was a spot you could get some drinks and stuff, and you could also play video games while you drank.
Yep. Yeah.
I used the Nintendo there.
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of old cabinet, I think they're called, video games, and then behind the bar, it is a bar. At night, it becomes 18 plus or 21 plus. I don't know. After 9 p.m., but they open at noon, and after a certain point, there's no kiddos allowed, and you can get drinks, adult drinks, and they have PlayStations and Switches and Xbox and all that behind the counter, and you can play on big TVs, regular console games, up there on the big TVs, which is pretty cool. You played some Switch stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you played a bunch of cabinet games. What cabinet games? Do you know what I mean by cabinet games?
Games you put in a cabinet.
Well, the ones that they were freestanding, right? And they not the ones behind the bar on the TVs.
Oh, so all the other ones.
Yeah. Which one of those? Well, there were even some that you did that were not video games. What was your favorite thing to do there?
All of it. I can't choose.
Oh, you got to be able to pick one. It doesn't mean that it was like you didn't like anything else. It just means name one thing that you really liked doing there.
I have 3 things.
Okay.
The pinball.
Pinball, yeah. Any pinball in particular?
Wait.
Any machine in particular?
Wait, not the pinball, actually. What was that other thing with the ball?
Oh, skee ball?
Yeah, skee ball.
Yeah, skee ball, or ice ball as it was labeled.
The last time I did it, I got a 10,000 on my first ball.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Nice.
And I only got good stuff from then on.
Good numbers?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was getting a bunch of zeros, though.
Yeah. So pinball, you said you had a top 3 that you were going to give us?
Yeah.
What are the other 2?
Pinball.
Okay.
Like the machine one.
Yeah.
And behind the counter.
You got to give a little bit more. I don't know what behind the counter means.
The games behind the counter.
You mean on the Switch?
Just all of them. They were just looked fun and were fun.
Yeah. Nice. And what do you recommend any food or beverage that you had?
I had a lemonade.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Was it? Yeah, it was nice to be able to walk around and at each game, you remember they had little stands where you could put your drink in,
Yeah.
like a cup holder at each one. That was nice. So you could, have a soda or whatever, and lemonade or water, and put it there while you played. You didn't have to worry about it or find a spot for it, which sometimes is tricky. Yeah. So we did the $10 for all you can play. How many games do you think you played?
Almost all of them.
Yeah. And do you feel like you got your $10 worth, or Mom and Dad's $10 worth?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I would
good.
have liked if it was a little bit bigger. I don't know, maybe a mile longer.
A mile longer. Yeah.
No, that was a joke.
I mean, it is pretty big, but yeah, there could always be more games. I think that's the tough thing, is there's so many games out there. To make the space for all of that, they would need a huge, huge building.
This is what they should make, a game museum where like they would have they would pick something, like if they picked Nintendo, they would have every kind of Nintendo, and you could play every kind of Nintendo.
That would be kind of cool. Like you could play the original Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, you could play the very first Nintendo all the way to today's Nintendo.
That would be pretty cool. I would be into that. Because there are some games on some of those that I used to play when I was little that I'd love to play again. I just don't know how to get them.
We might have it.
We might, somewhere in our collection of games, but maybe not. Well, anything else you want to tell us about the Retrocade?
It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. I don't know if I would say it was not fun. I never say, okay, they're not fun. Unless they have, like, a singular game. Like, it's one game and there's, like, a mile-long line to it.
That would be tough. Tough, because it would be a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you for telling us about the Retrocade.
You're welcome. Do you have any questions?
No, I think I asked my questions.
What have you enjoyed?
What have I enjoyed? Well, I thought I might talk about the Retrocade, but you chose to talk about that, so I might take what you were going to take, because I also really enjoyed that, which is bowling. You have had a summer bowling pass or something. I forget what it is. You get 2 free games a day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we went quite as much as
We went 2 times this summer.
anybody would have liked, but I don't know. This summer felt super hectic. So I think we got a lot in, but I think we maybe had our eyes were bigger than our calendar. Meaning we saw more to do than our calendar could hold. But we went bowling, and it had been a while since I'd been bowling.
Same.
I think before the pandemic.
The last time I remember bowling was at the arcade at lunch.
The arcade, yeah. Well, then that's an arcade game, bowling, right?
Yeah, well, technically, half of the bowling alley part is in real life,
Well,
but then the other half is in a screen.
it is a lot less than half. It's maybe 4 feet. And a bowling lane is, I don't know, 70 feet, something like that. So it's very short, but it is a game, whereas it's not a real bowling alley. But this was...
Yeah, because you can get golden pins, and, like, that's not a real alley.
Yeah, this was nice. It was 10 pin. There's only 10 pin where we are, as far as I know. I grew up playing candle pin, which is a little bit easier. It's for kiddos. Let me say that. It can be hard to master. It's smaller balls, smaller pins that look more like a candle. But I like both, but I think my heart will always land with Candlepin because that's what I grew up doing.
Yeah, I kind of wish the balls were smaller.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about bowling alleys and 10-pin is unless you have your own ball, the hunt for that ball, for a ball that fits your hand, your fingers, and is a good weight for you, is often tough. Because
I found 2 that way, but only 2.
I think most people like kind of the same balls. So, yeah, that's one of my least favorite parts. But yeah, it was good. I ended up finding a ball. Let's see. The first ball I found, the finger holes were too small. The thumb hole was just right. And then I found another ball that was like a pound or 2 lighter, and then the thumb hole. Wait, it was reversed. The thumb hole was too small, or the finger holes were too small. But yeah. So it was kind of flip flopped, and I ended up liking that one a little bit better. But it was great. I loved watching you bowl. You did great. Mom did great. I did great. And it was fun. Although I always end up sweating a lot more than I like bowling. You never think it's going to be that strenuous, but I always end up a little sweaty afterwards, which feels weird. And the air is always still in bowling alleys. Ugh. I'm making it sound not good. But it was good. I did enjoy it. And, yeah, it had been a long time since I'd been. I think before you were born. Maybe it was the last time. I don't really remember. But definitely before the pandemic. And I feel like before the pandemic, you were so young that we weren't bringing you to bowling alleys. So that's why I think maybe before you were born. But, yeah, I had lots of fun. It made me kind of sad that I didn't get to it until late in the summer, and we didn't get back often enough. But it was something that we liked.
Yeah.
So we know that it's there. It's pretty close. It's like 7 minutes from our house. So I think we can go again. Bowling is never too expensive. Would you go back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bowling. 10-pin. 10-pin bowling. I ended up getting, I think on my second game, we played 2 games. My second one I got 130 points, which felt like a good score for...
Did I get a strike the first time?
You got spares.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I got 1 strike.
I know I got a strike. I don't think you got a strike. I think you and Mom just got a bunch of spares, which is impressive on its own. Spares are not easy to come by. But yeah. You have any questions for me about bowling?
No.
No.
Not at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. We're going to have an interesting podcast next week because the first day of school is tomorrow. And we'll see what we get up to and what we love next week.
Yeah, we're going to have to do more stuff on the weekends.
Yeah, or after school. But that's it. Check out our streams on YouTube. We just finished one for what video game?
New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Yeah, we just did a stream of that, our 4th stream of that game.
Well, we die about 1 million times.
We died a lot, yeah. And, yeah, you can check out the podcast and all the other episodes on giantmegafuntime.com. There you can get links to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify podcasts, anything, or you can grab a link to the RSS feed and plug it into whatever podcast app you like. Yeah. Love it if you'd leave us a rating, a review, leave some comments, a like, a heart, subscribe, any of that. Yeah, just some feedback. But you also don't have to. We're just going to keep doing this because I enjoy this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Time to get going. Finish out our weekend. Get ready for school tomorrow.
See you next weekend.
See you next weekend. Bye.
Bye.